We don't have any pre-show, though. Except for all the stuff about middle school gamers.
We're not getting enough
What?
Patreon money for a pre-show.
That's a good point.
Howdy, it's Thursday, May 5th, 2022, and this is episode 172 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Eskin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
What's good is that we have a potential sponsor who I cannot disclose.
That is true.
But I got an email, and they want to know things like our demographics of the listenership, so I'll be sending out a survey shortly.
Indeed.
They want to know how many downloads we have per episode, so I'll be lying about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you if we need anything else.
Yeah. Well,
surely we'll be retired 6 months from now.
I know that we can count on you, our listeners, to help us achieve our lifelong dream of quitting our day jobs and becoming full-time podcasters, just like apparently everyone else who starts a podcast.
It's what we set out to do from the very start. We've been very clear about that.
Indeed. I was hoping that it wouldn't have to come to this, but you guys have not really pulled through on the Patreon, so we have no other choice but to look into other means. But yes, I'm very interested to see what sort of great amount of money they're willing to give us.
My favorite part is that we've joked about this very potential sponsor in the past. Hint, hint. Anyways, should we talk about 1872? I think both 1872 and 1972 were great.
Yeah. Talk about head trimmers.
Any idea how to pronounce this freaking thing?
What?
1872?
Epicycloidal diversion.
I think that's right. Epicycloidal?
Epicycloidal.
Cloidal. Oh, it's cloidal. You're right.
Yep.
Wow. So the Epicycloidal diversion opened at Mississippi Avenue and the beach. From Atlantic City Weekly, says it was a forerunner to the modern day Ferris wheel. Its 4 large wheels mounted on a revolving platform gave 64 customers the thrill of riding a Ferris wheel atop a merry-go-round. And it's really what it looks like. I'll link to the picture. It looks like 4 Ferris wheels making a square on top of another rotating platform. And I hope that has painted a picture for you. It's weird looking.
It was probably pretty cool for 1872.
This was probably like hot shit in 1872.
Yeah. I mean, it's no polar coaster, but what is?
The name is worse than the polar coaster. I mean, I looked at the picture, I thought, that's very cool for 150 years ago. Hey, how about that? It's exactly 150 years ago that we're talking about this thing.
Yeah.
But imagine naming something the Epicycloidal diversion and like having to advertise that. You know, was there some guy over at the boardwalk, the just opened boardwalk that was 6 feet wide or whatever, 8 feet wide, trying to get people with like, you know, a flippy sign? Like, oh, go see the Epicycloidal diversion. Like, what? Like, nobody's going to that. It sounds like some sort of surgical procedure. And it's just impossible to say. Like, nobody, say it 5 times fast. Go.
They were different back in the 1800s, I guess.
This was probably just totally normal language. People were probably walking around like, oh yeah, did you go to the Epicycloidal diversion the other day? Oh, I was at the Epicycloidal diversion. How could you not go to the Epicycloidal diversion? My kids were there. My toddler's running around. He can say nothing but Epicycloidal diversion now. Those were his first 2 words. He was just
running in and out of the spokes as it was going around.
Yes.
I like the picture, the American flag moving, like, you know, probably 1% while they were taking the picture. It was just way too much, and it just completely blurred out the whole thing.
Yeah, because of the spokes, the like picture, whatever it's called, the aperture had to be open for like an hour.
Yes.
To take this picture. It looks amazing. It looks like it's just some big chairs on like what you would sort of recognize as a Ferris wheel.
Yeah. But not all the way at the end, kind of in the middle of the wheel.
Yeah. So that's the weird part. You have to look at the picture. You have to.
It's good. It's worthwhile.
The article in Atlantic City Weekly is just called Things That Are Gone. And I also, for some reason, I thought that was amusing.
We can bring it back.
We should.
The Epicycloidal diversion.
Man, we should go try to get some funding.
There's probably room next to the polar coaster.
One thing I will not entertain, though, is renaming it.
No, absolutely not.
Like, you can't call it the freaking quad wheel or like the Ferris go round. None of that. None of that. It is the Epicycloidal diversion.
I mean, can you imagine just walking up to a girl on the boardwalk and being like, "Hey, baby, you want to ride the epicycloidal diversion?"
Wow, that's a throwback.
That's like an episode 2 joke. Yeah.
Episode 2 joke. Wow, that's great. 1972.
Anyway, yeah, you have to read the 1972 copy as well, just because it's going to matter more for you than me, I think.
Kyle Askin's favorite establishment in all of Atlantic City, the Irish Pub, opened. So it was a bar before that. The building is like 130 years old, so that building's been there forever. It was a hotel before that. So we'll get into the creation of the hotel in a later episode. But from AtlanticCityExperience.org, our number one favorite site. In 1972, Kathy and Richard Burke purchased bar space in Feely's Hotel and opened the Irish Pub. The pub and Feely's Hotel operated together until 1978. Oh, I should have saved this for 6 episodes from now. When the Burkes became sole owners of the property, and that's why now it's the Irish Pub and Inn.
Indeed.
One of our options for where we can stay. Oh, I just ruined the sponsor. They're never going to sponsor us now because I just spoiled all the content. Hey, 50th anniversary for the Irish Pub. Congrats, Irish Pub.
Would never have guessed by being inside. Oh, wait, yes, I would have.
I would have thought older.
Yeah, well, but the building is older. So.
And I think my understanding is that the bar itself is older. And so, like, they kept that. And, like, there's more about it if you want to go look at the history about how it was open as a bar during Prohibition, and supposedly they would take, like, the prohees, the FBI agents out and, like, you know, beat them up because they loved the establishment so much, which is also how I feel about the Irish Pub. So go read that article in the AtlanticCityExperience.org. Learn about the Irish Pub. Go buy yourself a shirt that says Irish Pub established 1972. Since now you know.
I don't think I've seen you wear... Don't you have a shirt, right?
Yeah, I wear it a lot here.
Yeah, never in AC, though.
I was walking in Baltimore wearing that shirt, and a guy walked by wearing an Egg Harbor football jersey, and he looked at my shirt and gave me a look, but he didn't acknowledge it. It's like, come on now. Come on.
We all know you know about the Irish Pub, sir.
It was like an old dude, though, wearing like an Egg Harbor high school football jersey. It was like, this is a weird thing going on here.
It was a magical moment for both of you, I'm sure.
He's probably somewhere right now telling the story of when he saw a guy in an Irish Pub Atlantic City shirt.
Yes.
On his podcast.
Who gave him the eye, but did not say anything to him.
Yeah. He has a Baltimore podcast.
All right. So we had a discussion last episode about tipping, and we got a comment from one of our listeners to shed a bit more light on it. And I see you have pretty much pasted the entire comment in full, but
yes,
we'll do our best. So this is from Anonymous Listener 1. About the tipping discussion. At the local casino of a national chain, tips are split among all the dealers that worked on the day. Tips from each game are collected and counted. Blackjack, craps, Pai-Gow poker, Pai-Gow tiles, etc. Each into their own pool. Then the tips are split between all the dealers that work based on what they're rated to deal. So a dealer that's only rated for blackjack is going to get a share of the blackjack tips. A dealer that's rated for blackjack and craps gets a cut of both the blackjacks and craps tip totals, even if they only dealt craps that day. So if you're weighted for 4 different days, your 4 different games, you're going to get a cut of 4 different tip pools. So if there's 30 dealers across the ships, they're likely all blackjack qualified, so the blackjack tips get split 30 ways. 15 of those dealers might be craps qualified, so those tips are going to get split 15 ways. Tiles might have 5, so those are going to get split 5 ways. And basically the idea behind this is it encourages dealers to become rated for more games, so they're eligible to deal more games, and that way they'll get more money. Yeah, so that's the first comment. And then specifically about servers, which was really what our discussion was about. The anonymous listener says that his understanding is that they keep their own, but they have to tip out to the bartenders, which I believe is also what waiters have to do at normal restaurants. So that's not terribly surprising and makes more sense for me. So yeah. I don't know. Thoughts?
So you may have heard this and said the most lucrative job in the casino is to be a Pai-Gow tiles dealer. Highly specialized. Let me go get trained in that right now. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, splitting the Pai-Gow tiles tips 5 ways is probably not as much money as splitting the blackjack tips 30 ways. Maybe not blackjack, but certainly craps is less than splitting the craps tips 15 ways for sure.
What 0 divided by 5 is?
No.
Yeah. No, I think it's 0.
Because it's not dividing by 0.
That's
Someone's not a math major.
One of us is a math major here, and one of us is not.
Yeah, my mom would be disappointed. She was a math major. She doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's fine.
Null is also not
right.
correct.
That's
anyway,
some calculator
right.
BS. Like, this is like I busted out my graphing calculator under the desk. I wrote null on the test, and my teacher was like, "Oh, you're clearly using your graphing calculator."
Fail.
You fail.
Yeah, I don't know. This makes sense to me. I think it sounds quite reasonable from the casino's perspective. It's obviously good for the dealers that want to go out and get rated on more than just blackjack. So I don't have anything negative to say.
So on the server side, I'm interested to see what the bartender situation is. Like, is there just some dude in a back room who's handling all the drinks for just the floor? It's not like a restaurant where they are going to the bar and the bartender's serving everyone at the bar.
Yeah, I assume so. I assume there's like a couple people in the back room. And so there's two ways you can do it. The one way is at Caesars, you order in the machine and then it goes straight to the back room where it gets fulfilled. And the other way is the waitress writes down all the orders and kind of hands it to the bartender who makes it and gives it back to her.
Right.
I guess.
Surely. I think MGM, at least in Vegas, there was a big deal made out of this several years ago, that they had installed portion controlling machines. In which case, in that scenario, I don't know if the bartenders were even there, like where the waitress is just putting their own stuff together. Probably not, because there's still other like mixers and stuff.
It's still probably
stuff is probably all pre-mixed anyway. But
it's still probably bartenders doing it, but it just makes it so you can't give a heavy pour.
Bastards.
Let me tell you who does not have portion control machines: the Golden Nugget.
No. Your gallon of scotch.
Yes, literally, just here is a fifth, sir. Enjoy.
They just brought you a whole bottle. They just brought out the bottle. It was still in the box. Nice Johnny Walker Black box.
That was good.
Yeah. I have to say,
delicious.
I bought Monkey Shoulder. Not as good as Johnny Walker Black. Costs more. Not as good.
I'm not familiar with the Monkey Shoulder.
Too smooth.
Oh yeah, no. You need the peat.
And a little sweet. Yeah.
If it doesn't taste like burnt wood or whatever, I don't want to drink it.
Burnt gas. Putting lighter fluid on a log and lighting the log on fire. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah, man.
If you want to get into scotch, those are the flavor notes that you need.
Isla's where it's at. That's all I have to say. Don't bother with the mainland. Boring.
Speaking of flavor.
Yeah.
Bobby's Burgers by Bobby Flay. Not to be confused with Bobby's Burger Palace. Is that what it's called? Or Bobby's Burger Place? There's one of those at the Maryland Live.
Maryland Live. Yep. Yeah. It's pretty good, actually. I have to say.
This seems to be more of like fast food rather than like fast casual. Anyways, because I looked it up and I was like, maybe this is not the same thing. Or maybe this is the same thing and they just renamed it. But I should probably tell you what it actually is first. Bobby's Burgers by Bobby Flay, coming to Harrah's Atlantic City this summer. And you may be saying, Harrah's Atlantic City? They already have a burger place. It's called Atlantic City Burger Co.
Bill's Burgers. Formerly
Bill's Burgers.
Yes.
But I can't find anything that indicates that this is replacing that. A link to the press release, which was sadly devoid of, there was a lot of press talk, but it didn't throw around things like experience because this is like a fast food counter, it seems like. So I can't tell if this is going to be just taking that over, which seems like it would make sense, or if it's going to be over in sort of the food courty area across from the pool.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Next to the pin-up pizza. So we'll find out. But it's supposed to open this summer. Burgers are good.
Burgers are good.
I like burgers. Yeah, I don't eat enough burgers, actually.
It's a nice thing to eat, I think, if you are in a hurry, and especially if it's actually a takeout counter. Sounds pretty much perfect. It is well known my love affair with the old Fat Burger in the Borgata, so...
Oh, yeah, Fat Burger.
I'm all for this. Not as good as the Fat Burger in Las Vegas, where we were just gambling with piles of cash.
And the Fat Bar. I remember I sat outside at the Fat Bar. They had a big, circular bar, I still do, outside the Fat Burger in Las Vegas, and I was there... I think it was the night I was stuck there an extra night, and I ate at 3 a.m, and I was so sad that the trip was over that I couldn't even eat much of my burger.
This is Pete Craig.
Just sad and stressed. Stressed about the travel. And
I can't.
So last episode, speaking of sad that the trip's over, and I want to know if anybody else has this experience, because I'm very weird.
I'm sure that no one does, but go ahead.
Somebody out there will. So I mentioned last episode that Matt Bridger was in Las Vegas. He was there for 9 days. Vegas vlogger Matt Bridger on YouTube. Go search it. He was there for 9 days, and every night I would watch the next installment and the next installment. And then when his trip ended, I was sad as though it was my trip was ending, but I was sad for him, I think. Which is weird because he was there for 9 days and this has no effect on me. I wasn't there. There's something about it that 9 days in your time feels incredibly short because you're just going through your normal life, whereas Vegas time is just insane. So I want to know if anybody else experiences that. But my other thought was, all this vlogging shit, like when I get home from a trip, I would be way too depressed to edit like final day of the vlog. That would just never go up. If I was there for 4 days, you'd get days 1, 2, and 3, and 4 would just never get posted because like, I can't look at this. I'm too sad. I cannot look at this video footage. So that's how I am. I'm a sad person, and we can move on to the next thing.
There is nothing I could have less of a comment on than that. Moving on sounds good.
You don't get real sad when trips end?
I don't get real sad when vloggers trips end.
I was trying to relate it back to my own experience, Kyle. It's called
your
empathy.
Own experience of... No, you weren't sad for him. It sounds like you were sad for yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
That's not empathy at all. It's the opposite.
No, I was
empathy.
sad for him also. That like, oh, that sucks. He's got this whole 9-day trip and it's done. No, I think it was mostly sad for him. I do think it was mostly sad for him. But also an understanding of that's how I feel. Why did we get into this tangent? Because I have nothing else.
It was not me. That's all I have to say.
Why did you do this?
Anyway, casino workers want a significant, in quotes, pay increase. This is according to an AP article by Wayne Perry. Basically, the casino workers have their existing contracts with 8 of the 9 casinos expiring on May 31st. Historically, the union has focused more on the benefits than the wages side, but Bob McDevitt is saying that he's optimistic that the new contracts are going to be reached quickly with the casinos, and it sounds like there's hope that there is going to be a significant pay raise for the employees. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, when I first saw the article, I was like, oh god, here we go again. Because the last time we got into like contract, collective bargaining agreement talk between the casinos.
It was the Taj, right? When there was actually a strike.
Yeah, so there was all this stuff about, oh, we can't give you this raise or else we'll have to close the casino, and like fighting with Carl Icahn and all that stuff. And we had to learn all about the like most preferred clause where, you know, if the union gets a deal with one casino, then everybody else has to match it and all that stuff. And so I read this whole article thinking like, oh god, where's the quote from somebody saying that all the casinos were going to close? And then you get to like Joe Lupo and Bob McDevitt being like, nah, man, everything's great. Everything's going along swimmingly. That's not to say that it will continue, but for now, seems good. You know what? Go get your pay raise. We saw the profit numbers.
Yeah. No, apparently they're making money, even though they're all going to go out of business, apparently. But
yeah. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, we'll give you this pay raise, but we're not doing any kind of smoking ban.
That is actually what they're saying. They're saying they would go out of business if there was a smoking ban. So they're pushing back pretty hard against the state right now. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we still going to AC in like a month?
We are. It's less than a month.
Less than a month, yeah.
It's like 4 weeks from today.
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, we're probably going to have 2 episodes between now and then, so I don't think we need to talk too much about it. But the one thing I'll say is we've shifted, and basically everybody's going. Everyone who's ever wanted to go to AC, 5 of us, are going from Thursday to Saturday, so June 2nd to June 4th.
Yeah.
So if you want to come meet us, and by us I mean all 5, like us and our like 3 other college friends.
And probably not me, probably just Craig and his 3 college friends. If you want to meet me, I'll be at the Pie table.
Yeah, so probably the time to do that would be, I mean, if you're there Thursday, whatever. But
yeah,
we're
Thursday would probably be better, honestly. But
mostly around Ocean Resorts area. If you're at like Golden Nugget or something and you're like, hey, are you guys going to make it over here? No, we're probably not going to make it over there. You can come to us. That's what I had to say. So the one thing though is I probably won't be as good with this trip about like tweeting since there will be more of us there.
So you're saying that I'm just not important enough to pay attention to, but your other friends are?
Yes, right, exactly, yeah. No, I can, with you, I can just have my phone out all the time.
Right.
Because
I've never not looked at my phone when you're around.
Yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, did you say something? I was tweeting to our many followers.
I mean, it's important to bring up engagement because I hear that's what our sponsor wants.
Oh yeah, sorry, I meant we have 1 billion listeners. Putting Joe Rogan to shame. We have, 4 rooms at Ocean on Thursday and 1 at Resorts, and then we drop all the way down to 1 room at Ocean on Friday and 2 at Resorts?
No, we would only have 3 then, though, because there's 2 people without rooms at Ocean? Yes.
No.
Oh, no, it's 4. Yes, because I have 2 rooms. Okay, go ahead. Wait, I would never have 2 rooms. I would be wrong.
Not 2 rooms at Ocean.
Yeah, fair.
You could be staying half the night in one hotel and half the night in the other. They don't know. Honestly, as long as you play at both, I don't think they care. That's the plan. We are actually paying not logged in rate because I called and I was like, hey, I have a player's card. I see the rate. Can I get any discount on that? And they were like, no. And then they quoted me a rate that did not reflect a discount that was available online. So just totally logged out. I booked resorts. The problem is I can get Borgata for $110 cheaper than what we're paying for resorts. It's like, do I really want to pay that much money for resorts when we can stay at Borgata? What do you think?
If you want to stay at Borgata, I don't care.
Such a Kyle response. I pitched this to other friends in the group, and you can guess what they said.
Yeah, I would think it would be unpopular because it's
highly unpopular.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to do it, I would think that's fine. I personally wouldn't do it, but it's because I don't want to play at Borgata, so.
Right. I mean, the deal is, like, somebody else would probably have to come with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need that extra bed for someone. Yep. So, yeah, it just messes everything up. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's worth the extra $28 a person or whatever to stay at the resorts.
To stay at beautiful resorts. Which tower? That's important. Ocean or Rendezvous?
Ocean Tower, I'm pretty sure.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it's got to be Ocean.
Yep.
But we can talk more about the trip
coming
the future.
Up. Yeah. Exciting, though. Gonna be good with so many people.
Yeah, 5 people. When was the last time we had 5 or possibly 6 people in an Atlantic City trip?
Episode 1.
Your pre-baby party before your first kid was born?
Episode 1 is the last time we had that many people.
That's insane. Sure. Nuts.
2015 is when episode 1 was, by the way. So
that's wild.
All right. If you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/doforwin. Find all of our great content and buy a shirt at doforwin.com. But you shouldn't fill out the form unless you're going to pay. Send Craig questions on Twitter at doforwin or me at Kyle Askin, and send Craig some emails to doforwin@gmail.com, and we could even read them on air.
If you're listening right now and you filled out the form, it's possible that you put in a wrong email address or you put in an email address that you never check, but follow up with me, doforwin@gmail.com, if you actually want your shirt, and we can arrange payment to actually get your shirt. Good talk.
Good talk.
Boardwalk Empire, final season, episode 1.
So you say it's 1929, but I think it said 1931 at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. All right, so yeah, that's fine. My guess was 1929 just because of the stock market crash, but it's 1931. Do you have any idea what year it was when season 4 ended?
I don't know. My best guess was like it was 4 years ago or something. It was obvious that a bunch of time has passed.
Yes, significant time had passed. And okay, so what happened in that time?
We find out that Chalky's in prison. Nucky has been living in Cuba, I think, for a while, as he said he was going to. I don't know. What else has happened?
AR is dead.
Is he?
Yeah, they said he's dead.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was just like a passing comment, but I'm pretty sure they said he's dead.
Okay.
Lucky Luciano has a messed up eye and a big old scar on his face.
That's true.
The stock market crashed. There was quite a scene about that.
Yes, indeed.
Prohibition has not been ended yet. That happened in 1933. Yet. Spoilers. Yeah, I mean, that's the main stuff that's, like, changed. And the weird thing is there was no real, like, explanation of any of this stuff. So all of this stuff still has to get explainers later in the episode.
Yeah, so Nucky was in Cuba. He sees Meyer Lansky. He's talking with a senator who likes younger women a lot, I guess.
Apparently.
As one does. And basically they're talking to the owners of Bacardi about trying to get a contract in place for as soon as the U.S. repeals prohibition for distribution.
Trying to go legit.
Yeah. And then somebody, we don't exactly know who, tries to kill Nucky, but then the scary, scary Cuban bodyguard messes him up pretty bad and tears his ear off.
Yeah. Cuts his ear off. That was weird. So the assumption is that it was Lansky, right? Or that's certainly Nucky's assumption.
I don't know. Maybe. It seems like it was suggested that could be, but it wasn't made clear. Intentionally, I'm sure.
Yeah. Chalky escapes from prison.
Yeah.
Escapes from
big prison riot. They're not in prison, it's in the forest doing whatever it is that they're doing.
And he has a new friend. I guess you'd call him a friend, who basically is like, take me with you, we're going to live together, it seems like.
You know how to use the phone, so I want you to come.
Yeah. Yes, that was weird. There were a whole bunch of flashbacks of Kid Nucky.
I enjoyed it. I like the flashbacks. I like the cinematography of the flashbacks. It's kind of weird and trippy, and it was good.
I have some concern that the flashbacks are going to be the only Atlantic City that we see in this season.
Surely no.
Because there's a lot of Cuba. There's a lot of Chicago.
Gotta go back to Atlantic City, man.
They went to New York? Maybe they're going to save it all. Everything's going to come full circle in Atlantic City in episode 8, the finale, but there will be no Atlantic City. Like, no one will set foot in Atlantic City until then. That would be quite a choice.
Could be.
The other big stuff, Lucky has Masseria killed.
Yep. Which that happens in real life, just FYI.
Full on joins a different crime family, and then they're all cutting each other's hands and stuff, or cutting their own hands.
Oh yeah, their own hands. Doing some shaking.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like hinted stuff. Like we don't know how Chalky got in jail. We don't know how Lucky's face got all messed up.
I liked it. I thought it was good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed it more than most of the last couple seasons, so.
But we did not see Harrow. I still think he's dead. That's what I think. I think they're just never going to explain that, because I think they're like, duh, he's dead. We thought we made that pretty clear.
We'll see.
He's going to actually also show up in the last episode as an
angel.
As like a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something, and just kill everyone. And he's going to be the new boss. And then they made a spinoff.
Indeed.
I don't know. I think that's all my thoughts.
Well, how did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought all the stuff with the Commodore was interesting, like sort of Nucky fighting with the other like riffraff hustler kids.
Yeah, man. Nucky was picked on quite a bit.
The opening scene, the thing where they're opening the ocean, right, and throwing the coins into the ocean. It's Memorial Day in the Atlantic Ocean in New Jersey. How freaking cold are all those kids in that water? I don't know. I mean, I guess kids like don't experience cold. I don't know. Like I remember going to Florida in like the dead of winter and being like, we're going in the pool. And it was like, 50 degrees in the pool. As an adult, I was like, no, you can't go in the ocean in May in New Jersey. That's ridiculous. But I bet a kid would do it. Yeah,
you could, I think. I think it would be fine. I've gone into ocean Memorial Day weekend.
That was my biggest gripe with the episode, really. Biggest plot hole, I thought. Margaret had to see that dude kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, it's going to be fine.
She was trying to steal the file of AR.
Yes, that's right. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of stuff has to get explained. So I wonder if they're going to just explain everything next episode or if it's going to sort of trickle out. I have a feeling it's just going to be like, bang, next episode, here's all these explanations.
Well, 7 more episodes.
It's got to happen fast, yeah, because there's only like whatever that is, 7 times 50 minutes.
Yeah.
350 minutes. Probably 6 hours-ish of Boardwalk Empire. Will you be as sad when Boardwalk Empire ends as I was when Matt Bridger's
vlog ended? Probably not.
Me neither.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening, and we'll be back in a couple weeks. I am completely serious. You have to write them back and be like, yeah, we get 2,000 downloads. I just want to know like what the dollar amount associated with that is.
Yeah. Okay. I'll write them back.
I would never take the main money, but I have to know